Hi, my name's Tika Thomas. It is July 19th, 2026. The World Cup ended just a few hours ago with Spain's victory. The World Cup has been a wonderful cultural phenomenon. I documented it when it was hot 2 weeks ago, and I just wanted to put out one more epilogue to wrap things up, just to talk about, I think, sum up the cultural exchange that's really happened between the United States and the rest of the world that came to visit us for the last 5 weeks. So I'm going to use the structure of what in politics they call a Tully message grid. So what you say about yourself, what you say about the other person, what the other person says about you, and what the other person says about themselves. So before the tournament started on June 12th, the United States was kind of going in a bit of a funk, really frustrated at the economy, at public policy that wasn't really serving most of us. And we really needed a psychic pick-me-up. And, that really came when the tournament started. So, what we've sort of, thought about them being other countries at the time, a lot of us didn't know those cultures, and with lack of knowledge comes fear and paranoia. And a lot of people, I'm a longtime soccer fan, but a lot of people thought soccer culture was a little strange. What did they think of the United States? They thought we're violent and dangerous, uncultured, particularly when it comes to food, that we're wasteful, that the food we eat is just industrial food, and that we're kind of small-minded. What did they think of themselves? Refined, measured, efficient, and with healthy eating, and those are both good things. And now, 5 weeks later, America's had a really big pick-me-up and just affirmation that, in our own way, America is really great. And that's going to affect, there's a horseshoe effect at both ends of the political spectrum that, thrives on division, thrives on paranoia and frustration. And, when more and more Americans are, feeling good about the country, can really dig in and know how much potential we have coiled up, it makes it harder for those voices to get traction in politics. So I think that's a good thing. What does the United States think of our foreign guests? Beautiful cultures. They have beautiful cultures, and that helps, bond our common humanity with everyone. All the marching to the games and the chanting, it was really beautiful. And we can't get lost that there are economic benefits to foreign people coming here and eating our food, paying money for our food and our culture, and us selling to them. And we, some of the political rhetoric forgets how important economically being interconnected is. And frankly, having visitors come here and put out videos saying how great things are here, that helps our bottom line. How they see the United States, that's largely what the past 8 videos I put out 2 weeks ago say. They realize how decentralized the country is in many facets, how decentralized we are geographically, politically, just how vast and big and interconnected the United States is. Different, but interconnected. They realize now we actually truly have great cuisine. They're just exposed to industrialized fast food chains, but the everything from barbecue to Creole cuisine, California farm to table cuisine. It's really, really good stuff, and it's finally being appreciated for the high class cuisine it is. They're reminded how outwardly friendly Americans are, how good the customer service is in business, that, we're very civilized. There's violence, but by and large, we're a civilized country. And then, of course, the scale of things, not just the food portion sizes, but then that goes to how big the stores are, how big the roads are, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And finally, what I'm seeing in these recent videos of people returning to Europe or Japan or wherever they came from is that they're missing out on some things, on some food, on a lot of experiences, our national parks, um, the importance of air conditioning. That's a nice benefit. And then, for better and for worse, that everything in their country, walking out of the airport at home, everything shrunk, from the cars to the roads to everything else. So those are some of the differences. That's a wrap for the World Cup as a cultural phenomenon. We'll see how it changes things in the future.